Canon has publicly teased a YouTube premiere for Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, with regional times of 3 p.m. CEST in Europe and 9 p.m. EDT in North America. The official social posts trail the line, "Something new is coming," and the teaser artwork is unusually revealing for a pre-launch campaign. You can clearly make out a boxier, video-centric body silhouette, a front-facing tally lamp, and a red record button in place of a stills shutter. Those details strongly signal a cinema EOS-style device rather than a pure stills camera, and they align with the expectation that Canon wants to make noise just ahead of the IBC broadcast show, when the industry's attention shifts to video workflows. Multiple outlets have captured and time-stamped the teaser and premiere slots, which is why you're seeing the same date and times echoed across coverage. Rumor reporting has converged on the name Cinema EOS C50, framed as a compact full-frame cinema camera positioned beneath models like the C70 and as a more video-native answer to hybrid bodies. Canon rumors has gone as far as to say it's now confirmed that Canon will release the Cinema EOS C50 as a successor to the EOS R5C, which hints at a strategic shift. Instead of asking filmmakers to buy a hybrid with a cinema OS, Canon appears ready to offer a dedicated compact cinema model that still taps modern R-series hardware. That framing also explains the timing. Launching days before IBC is a classic move for cinema-leaning gear, and the teaser's body language, which lacks a stills camera viewfinder hump and seems purpose-built for rigging. A recurring thread is that the C50 is built on the hardware platform of the EOS R5 Mark II. That matters because it sets expectations for processing power, autofocus behavior, and sensor characteristics. If you accept that premise, you'd expect the C50 to inherit next-gen dual-pixel AF performance and robust processing headroom for high bitrate video formats. Then layer Cinema EOS features on top, such as a different OS, monitoring tools, and pro workflow touches that hybrids typically compromise. Sources differ on the exact pixel count. Early chatter cited 45 megapixels, later reporting leans to around 32 megapixels. But the key takeaway is full-frame capture with the horsepower to support advanced recording modes. In rumor land, pixel math is often the noisiest variable. The more important signal is that Canon is allegedly moving the C50 away from the constraints that kept the R5C in a hybrid posture: the shape of a compact cinema body. The teaser image does some heavy lifting here. A front tally lamp and prominent red record button are hallmarks of video-first design, and the top plate hints at threaded mounting points that make sense for cages, top handles, and monitors. The absence of an SLR-style prism or a large EVF bulge supports the theory of a low-profile body that's meant to live under accessories. This is also where comparisons to Sony's FX3 and FX30 crop up. Both popularized the compact, rig-friendly, full-frame/APS-C cinema form factor, and it would be logical for Canon to target that same slice with native RF mount convenience. Publications covering the teaser have explicitly called out those FX comparisons, and rumor writers are framing the C50 as Canon's direct rejoinder to the FX3 specifically. Because the R5 Mark II bedrock implies ample sensor readout and processing headroom, the natural speculation is around full-frame, high-quality recording modes that don't force heavy crops. Open gate is the buzzword you'll see. It means using the full sensor area, often in a taller aspect, so you can reframe for different deliverables later, including vertical, square, or cinematic wides, all from a single take. On a compact cinema body, open gate pairs neatly with Cinema OS, features like flexible monitoring, aspect guides, and metadata. Community wishlists also bring up things the R5C struggled to combine, like IBIS and robust cooling, and staples filmmakers crave at this size: internal ND filters for quick exposure control, a full-size HDMI port for reliability, and a top handle with quality XLR audio. While those items aren't confirmed, they've been consistently requested in forum chatter and rumor roundups. One practical reason creators favor compact cinema bodies is integrated audio. If Canon attaches a cinema-grade audio path, whether through a dedicated top handle module or built-in preamps and expanded menus, it instantly reduces the need for external recorders on small shoots. Pair that with a cinema UI that prioritizes shutter angle, waveform, false color, and LUT handling, and the C50 would feel materially different from a hybrid running a stills-centric interface. The teaser's tally lamp and record-first controls support the idea that monitoring and recording status are foregrounded in the UX, which is exactly what you want when operating solo or on gimbals, where line of sight to the screen isn't guaranteed. Coverage from DP Review and others calling out those physical cues is why the Cineos Plus compact body prediction resonates. Pricing tea leaves and where it could land. No reputable outlet has published a firm price, but triangulation is possible. If the C50 truly leverages R5 Mark II internals and is meant to compete with Sony's FX3, a body-only tag somewhere around the low to mid $4,000 range feels plausible. That keeps it clearly above entry hybrid territory while undercutting larger cinema EOS models, and it mirrors how Sony segments FX3 versus FX6. A few rumor sites float $3,999 to $4,499 as a working bracket. Treat that as an educated placeholder that will firm up only at launch. The broader strategic point is more important. Canon seems intent on planting the Cinema EOS flag in the compact sub-$5,000 space, where owner-operators, wedding shooters, YouTubers, and micro crews all overlap. What changes if it really replaces the R5C? Calling the C50 a successor to the R5C would be a big philosophical shift. The R5C tried to bridge two worlds by bolting Cinema EOS firmware onto a stills body. The rumored C50 flips that, starting with a cinema identity and adding the modern hardware filmmakers want. If Canon nails thermal behavior and menu design while preserving strong AF and oversampled modes, it could give creators most of what they liked about 5 RAN class imagery without the compromises that hybrids bring under heavy, continuous video use. This is also where things like built-in ND, a more modular I/O layout, and sturdier HDMI matter. If they appear, they would justify the C badge and the repositioning. Canon rumors' framing of successor to R5C is what's steering expectations in this direction even before we see the spec sheet. Launching right before IBC is classic camera industry timing, ensuring maximum exposure to a pro audience and meeting windows when rental houses, dealers, and production teams refresh kits. It also throws down a gauntlet in a category Sony has popularized with the FX3/FX30 ecosystem of cages, handles, and recorder workflows. If Canon offers comparable mobility with RF mount versatility, and especially if it ships with clever accessories tailored to vlogging rigs, gimbals, and run-and-gun dock work, it can immediately tap into the broad base of RF lenses while courting crossover users from EOS R bodies. Trade press previews and rumor mill timing blurbs make the pre-IBC rationale explicit, which is why the date sticks out as more than a random Tuesday.